If you're someone who is into high retention editing and a lot of constant rehooking, then this video is probably not for you. 99% of people, they never reach their potential because they don't learn to master themselves. They don't learn to master their own mind. In this video, I'll be sharing how you can change your life in the next 6 months with relentless focus. I'll be sharing what has worked for me and what I think can work for you too. This video is going to be unscripted, but the value you get is just as similar, if not better. So let's dive in. The first place where everything starts is your belief, your mindset. If you have limiting beliefs about yourself, if you have intrusive thoughts, then you're gonna end up living your life from a scarcity mindset. Look, I'll give you some of my examples. When I was little, I used to think that life always works against me, that things are never aligned, and whenever I try to do something that matters to me, something will go wrong. And since I believed that, events kept showing up, making that belief stronger and stronger. I was making more and more attempts to do something significant, and all over again, I would be presented with an obstacle so unique and so major that it would seem just unfair. I started thinking that the universe somehow hates me or something. But do you know what happens in this case? Like in my case, I started believing that something bad will always happen whenever I try to do something, and that's exactly why it kept on happening. But when I pulled myself out of that victim state and rewired my mind to have more empowering beliefs, the reality shifted. The first point here is rewiring your beliefs and your mindset. So how do you rewire these limiting beliefs and switch them with ones that are more empowering? First, you start with saying the right things to yourself. Pay attention to your self-talk. What internal dialogue are you having? Are you telling yourself things like, you're not enough, you can't do this, you're better off with that big opportunity because you're not deserving of it? What is it that you're saying to yourself? Look, probably something happened in your past and it kind of kept showing up. You might think, no, Anika, I cannot change it just by talking to myself. But trust me, that's where everything starts. The moment you decide that you're no longer going to be that person with whom everything bad keeps happening, the moment you decide you're not going to be that person who thinks that they're not deserving of anything good, the moment everything changes, because you constantly keep telling yourself you are someone who achieves good things, who deserves good things. And when you say these things to yourself, don't just say things, just try to actually feel them, try to believe in them, have conviction when you say these things. And with enough repetition, your reality will start shifting. It will definitely start shifting. Do you know, back when I was taking driving classes, my instructor, he would say that, okay, this U-turn is gonna be really difficult. But whenever he said that, in my mind, I would think, oh, it's gonna be super easy for me because I'm just naturally good at it. And you know what happened? Since I had this belief that it's gonna be super easy, it actually turned out to be super easy. If I was shaky, if I would feel like, oh my god, this is gonna be difficult, then trust me, that's exactly the kind of outcome I would have gotten. You can shift your reality just by expecting a different reality. So another tangible way that really helped me to rewire my intrusive thoughts and limiting beliefs was this app. The app is called Neurocycle. By the way, I'm not sponsored by them and I'm not affiliated with them in any way. I'm just putting the link to the app down below in the description. I just genuinely got a lot of value from using this app, and it really helped me to change my intrusive thoughts and really manage my mind in a way where I could actually catch my negative thoughts. It's an app where you go through this 5-step process every day for a span of 63 days with one single thought, which can sound like a lot, but just think about it. If you can for real change a thought that has kind of put you in this victim mindset for years of your life, and would you not want to take just about 2 months to change that situation? I don't think that's a lot. So this is where you start for your 6 months transformation journey. You start with your mindset, you start with your beliefs, and you start rewiring your mind. Because when you rewire your mind, your reality shifts. Kind of thoughts that you think about, your actions, they start to align. And when your actions start to align, so does the outcome that show up. My next point is be brutally honest about what you want. So most people, they operate on autopilot. They just live their life with the same routine without thinking twice. Someone else can give them an advice and they will just absorb it, and without thinking twice, the system will tell them to work in a certain way and they will just keep on working in that way without ever thinking about what their purpose is in this life. No one takes the time to actually sit with themselves, sit with their thoughts, and think through their life vision. This might seem a little overwhelming, but if you're not sure about your vision, what you can do is you can figure out your anti-vision. So what is an anti-vision? It's basically a term that I first heard from Dan Ko. He's one of my favorite creators. According to Dan, anti-vision is a reality which you'd avoid at any cost. So sit with pen and paper and journal it out. Figure out what your anti-vision is. And once you do, chances are that your vision is just the exact opposite of what you came up with. The life you never want is what helps you to get clarity on the kind of life that you actually want. And once you're brutally honest about what is it that you want your life to look like in the next 6 months, you can actually decide on 1 or 2 cornerstone habits that actually move the needle and impact the other aspects of your life for the better. For example, for me, a good cornerstone habit is working out. Going to the gym really helps me to stay motivated. Afterwards, I just feel all this energy flowing through me and I feel so motivated to take action. For some people, walks do wonders. It can really help you to gain clarity, to clear your thoughts. For a lot of people, writing really helps. It helps you to clarify your thinking and also speak better as you write more and more. For some people, it can be eating better, eating clean, getting enough sunlight. Think about it. What's 1 or 2 things that you can change that can actually move the needle, and do that every single day for the next 6 months? And by that, I don't mean that if you choose workout, you should be working out every single day, because you're not supposed to do that. You're supposed to have rest days too, but you get the idea, right? It's more about being regular. Make a commitment and stick to it. Number 3, audit your current reality. You need to scan your environment. You need to identify different patterns that you have and the patterns of the people around you. If you feel like you are surrounded by energy vampires, you need to cut those people off. You also need to focus on your digital diet. Do you tend to watch reels after reels, or you probably binge watch Netflix shows for hours and hours? You need to pay attention to your digital diet and really focus on what is it that you're consuming on a daily basis. If you're consuming a lot of mindless stuff, it's just scattering your focus, and where you put your focus on, it grows. So if you focus your time on watching stuff that don't really contribute to your life and to your growth, it's just gonna keep you stuck and not see your potential. Design your environment in ways that inspires empowering actions. Surround yourself with people that actually push you to do better for yourself and the world around you. Watch podcasts, read good books, and have meaningful conversations that can actually add some value to your life. You know how we shape ChatGPT, for example, with certain prompts and by feeding it certain documents so it can actually consume those and get trained. Our brain is the same. If we keep feeding it garbage, it's gonna produce more and more garbage. And that's just how it is. So feed your mind good stuff that leads to good thoughts, good reactions, and good actions, and good outputs in return. Build your life based on systems. Systems is super important because, let's be real, your motivation, it doesn't stay the same. Motivation is like a myth. Systems are super important because you know how we say things like, I couldn't get around to doing that thing because I didn't feel motivated. But guess what? Motivation, it's not something that just comes out of nowhere. It's something that you kind of have to actively bring, actively produce. Motivation is something that you need to do. It doesn't matter what kind of mood you're in. If you take action and start regardless of how you feel, you will notice that eventually you pick up the momentum. And when you pick up the momentum, motivation shows up. There is this interesting exercise that really can be helpful, which is whenever you don't feel like doing something, you tell yourself that I'm just gonna try to do this thing for 3 minutes. Chances are you will realize that after 3 minutes, you are actually continuing because you have already started and you are in the flow. You have picked up that momentum. And then you keep going and you probably end up finishing the entire task. So, what do you think helps with these situations where you don't feel motivated but you have to kind of start doing the work? This is where systems really do a great job. For example, deciding that you're gonna do something for 3 minutes, that in itself is a system. Having very specific morning and evening routines, that is system. Having individual focused time blocks, that is part of a system. When you operate around specific systems that you have set for yourself and your business, that's when you end up taking action despite how you feel. Systems that help you to stay consistent, and the difference between those who know what to do and those who actually end up doing it is basically consistency. You know, success is not about being the smartest or being the strongest. It's about being the one who takes action and who shows up every single day consistently. And that's what systems help you do. Evaluate, see how far you have come. You know, often we make so much progress, but we somehow don't even notice it. Maybe some other people can look at us, look at the things that we're doing and see the difference that we have made. But sometimes we just kind of tend to overlook our own achievements because we are kind of always focused on how far we are from our goals, right? That's why it's very important that we actually evaluate our situation, actually notice the achievements, the minor victories that we have earned. Make sure that on a weekly basis, you note things down. You note things that you did differently, things that you did that aligned more with your values, that aligned more with your long-term vision. You track stuff that you did consistently. You basically measure every single progress that you made. What it does, it really helps you to gain belief in yourself much more, to actually see the progress, see the change that we often tend to overlook. So if you keep repeating these things, if you keep rewiring your mind with positive thoughts, keep saying good things to yourself, if you get brutally honest about your vision in life and take 1 to 2 needle moving action regularly. If you take out anything from your life that doesn't serve you, that doesn't serve your purpose, and design your environment in a way that supports your goals and the kind of lifestyle you want, and if you operate based on systems that actually can help you get through the days where you don't feel like going. And lastly, if you keep on evaluating yourself, not regularly, but every now and then, probably once in every week or once in every 2 weeks, and actually see for yourself what progress you have made, and you keep following these things for the next 6 months, your life will transform for the better, and you will be able to see it for yourself. Not only you, people around you will definitely feel the difference. I hope you got some value out of this. If you did, make sure to hit the like button. It really helps to push this video to more people who need to watch this. And if my ideas resonated with you, please take your shoes off and come on in by hitting that subscribe button. Thanks for watching. Ciao for now. I'll see you in the next one.